Here's everybody, I'm Monster today, and we're going to be going over blue lining and what it does, because that's what you guys are all here for, because it just dropped. So it's called Surge Path Unstable Capacitor, and basically it replaces your shock for surge, right? So that means anything that like applies shock or any talent that would like work with shock doesn't work anymore, right? And so what it will do is now overload your opponents at maximum stacks of surge. So basically every hit of your lightning mantra applies one stack. So that means lightning blade will apply 2 if both of them land. Electro carve applies 6 because there's 6 hits in electro carve, etc., right? And so it takes 6 hits to overload the opponent, right? And what will happen is whenever the opponent is overloaded, they will take extra damage, and 80% of that damage is an AoE spread to everybody around them. And it's like, I don't know, it's a pretty big range. It's bigger than Wild. It's a bigger range than Wild, right? And so there are actually talents that play into this. One example is Fried Circuits, which like makes it to where if you overload your opponent, they get sapped. Remember that like Thunder Wisp effect that adds like a little lightning like rod into you that basically slows down your mantra cooldowns? Yes, that also applies if you overload your opponent with the talent. Closed Circuit, what that does is that it basically, if you manage to overload an enemy and there's nobody around them, it does extra damage in like a 1v1 scenario, which is pretty good. And you have Catalytic Strike. Now if somebody already has surge stacks on them but it's not at the max and you posture break them, they will overload immediately right then and there, but it does a little less damage because it's not as many surge stacks on them. Then finally you have Human Battery, to where like if you use a mantra and you don't have enough ether to use it, it will use surge strikes on the opponent to cast the mantra. I think this one is by far the weakest one, but the other ones are pretty damn good, and there probably will be more surge talents coming out with blue lightning, and maybe some fix-ups hopefully for regular lightning as a whole, because right now regular lightning, I mean, I'm not going to use it. Blue lightning looks cooler and probably plays better, but we'll see as the weeks come by. Anyway, that's pretty much going to be all for blue lightning. Again, you don't need anything like willpower or nothing like that to get it. All you need is just lightning, so any lightning build can get it. All right, that's about it. See you guys later.